Welcome.
Thank you so much, David, for this kind introduction. It's a pleasure to be here and to talk with you about two of the hottest technologies which there are today, AI and blockchain, the technology behind Web3. Now, I want to dive and explore the potential of those two technologies colliding. Let's get started with AI. AI has been all around us. A German scale-up, for example, is employing AI in order to make railroad switches more reliable, using AI to do predictive maintenance, and in order to do so, move our railway networks further into the future and help us to transition to a sustainable mode of transport. And I think we can all agree that's really needed. In India, a company is using computer vision AI in order to detect breast cancer without touch or pain, and it's incredibly affordable. They are available in 30 cities, and they recently got an FDA approval. Or let's look to the Philippines, Mexico, and Kenya, and India once again, where AI is employed in order to make money or loans more easily accessible to people who didn't have a bank account before. So I think we can agree that AI is making a real difference in today's life, not only economically, but also socially, and most importantly, globally. And that was even before generative AI. And despite AI being around since 1956, as we have learned from Jason Zhu this morning, we are still at the very beginning. Over the next 10 years, AI is expected to grow 20-fold. Generative AI alone is expected to add 4.4 trillion annually, just across 36 use cases. And that's not economic value only because we generate new content, new videos or images, but also because generative AI gets trained to develop new formulas for chemistry or for biology, and in the process help us to discover entirely new drugs. Now, one could say we are off into economic prosperity. The future is looking very bright. Unfortunately, it's not all roses. The digital economy, as we know it today, is heavily centralized, and we know that it's bad because that limits competition. We've got big tech on the one hand, and we've got digital authoritarianism on the other hand. And this is a problem because people are losing trust in the digital economy. 71% of people, of respondents in 9 countries, so it's a true global phenomenon, are saying that they are worried about how companies collect and use their data. 73 are saying they want to have more government action. And I think we all know by now that's not always a good idea. But consumers are starting to take action. 46% are saying that they want to consider, or they are considering switching brands if companies are not using their data responsibly. So bottom line is, we're losing trust. And if we're not trusting, we are not interacting digitally as much as we could. We are not transacting as much as we could. And if we're not interacting and transacting as much as we could, we are not using the full potential of these technologies. And that's the rationale, that's the background against which we have to talk about blockchain. There was another recent event when trust in the economy was at a record low, and that was the financial crisis 2007-2008. At this time, Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know if he was a man, woman, or group, you probably all know it, released the Bitcoin white paper in which he referred exactly to the issue of trust in the economy, saying that the problem is that we have to trust human institutions which by nature create mistakes or prone to errors. Instead, he offers us an alternative that we trust in code, cryptographic, transparent code that allows us to transact and interact without the need of an intermediary. Now, in the beginning, it was Bitcoin, where we could transact money without a human intermediary. When 2015 Ethereum came around, we quickly learned that we can disintermediate and decentralize a whole bunch of new financial services, and that also was only the beginning. We quickly learned after that if we can disintermediate a lot of financial services, which later got known as decentralized finance, that we can disintermediate and decentralize a lot of other things. And that is very much the idea behind Web3. Web3 is about taking out the human institution, replacing as much as we can by cryptographic code, hence the blockchain. And we can see that many Web2 companies by now are finding their competitors in the Web3 space. Whether or not it is for data storage, social media, the metaverse, entertainment, or marketplaces. In all those areas, we are now finding Web3 competitors. Now, they are still very young, and the big question, therefore, is for today. Is there potential of AI that is intelligent but centralized and blockchain that is trust-enhancing coming together in order to fix and to enhance each other? And against this background, I want to take you through 4 use cases. There are probably many more. They are all still early stage, but I find them to be the most promising. There is decentralized compute power and data resources. Today, AI models have to be trained in centralized clouds, a market that is controlled by a couple of players, AWS, for example, Microsoft and the others. And again, that limits competition. And I can tell you, I've been living for over 7 years on the African continent. Not even everyone has access to it. So we've got a problem here, and blockchain offers a solution. Instead of training AI models in a centralized cloud, we can train AI models on the blockchain. Only problem being is it is 100 times slower so far. But there are people working on it, and there are certainly use cases where we don't need the same speed for processing all the time. Use case number 2, distributed ownership. If we replace human institutions, we need to have other forms of governance. And in the crypto world, those are decentralized autonomous organizations. Decentralized autonomous organizations run on code controlled by the members through governance tokens. And they, by now, can control AI models or the digital services that are powered by AI. However, these DAOs are also incredibly inefficient until now because decision-making is very difficult, and this is also another way where AI can empower DAOs to help us to become better. First examples exist here as well. Authenticity. We have learned that generative AI is really adding value and is doing a lot of good things. And yet, at the same time, it has gotten so good that we cannot decide anymore what is real and what is fake. And that is not bringing us together, it is driving us apart. So we need to have technologies in order to make that distinction, what is true and what isn't. And in the crypto ecosystem, we do know private keys. They allow us to verify or prove authenticity. And then there's another cryptographic innovation that is called zero-knowledge proofs that allows us to do the same without the owner of the data or the owner of the AI model having to release the data. It is privacy preserving, and the model doesn't have to be given away. So it's IP protecting at the same time. And this one, I admit, is a bit far-fetched, and yet it's probably still realistic if we look into the near future. We see an increasing amount of companies developing their own AI agents, generative AI agents. So it's just a question of time until not we as humans communicate with the agents, but when they start communicating with each other and deliver service for one another, prompt one another. When that comes, we need marketplaces where they can search each other, hire each other, rate each other, and pay each other. And for all of that, we need to have a technological infrastructure to facilitate that, and crypto is here solving lots of these issues, whether or not it is for payment processing, smart contracts, or if you need to have permissionless resources such as compute power or data storage. So these were 4 potentials, and admittedly, sometimes I'm even putting that there, it's very early. So the question is any of that becoming reality soon or not? When is it going to hit mainstream? For that, we need to look at some numbers. And we can see that AI is clearly leading, right? There are more people, there's more money, there's a higher degree of adoption. And yet we are seeing that globally there are 25,000 Web3 developers. We see that 27 billion went into blockchain startups, of which 50% went into Web3 startups. So we've got 420 users of crypto. That is not a million users. That's nothing compared to the users of Facebook or ChatGPT, but still it is significant. So we need to look out, but I think the call is also here to get more talent, to get more money into the picture in order to develop both technologies further. And I thank you very much and would like to invite you to get in touch. I always like to say, let's not be strangers, but if you want to continue that conversation either here or outside, this is how you can reach out to me. Thank you so much.